So this video is going to be little different. It's just going to be a black screen the whole entire time. So do something else and just listen to this, okay? This is a different thing. Jeff the Killer X Reader fanfic I'm reading. It's not written by someone I know in real life. I don't even know these people. So this may contain blood and stuff. So if you're like sensitive to that, don't watch this. And then the rest will basically be in the description if I remember to. Jeff the Killer X Reader fanfic. I was only 19 when I heard a creak under... Wait, what? I was only 19 when I heard a creak under an immense amount of pressure on my stairway. On the stairway. As an insomniac, I grew consumed to lie awake for hours in the captivity of my room. Sorry, I can't pronounce certain words. Of my room, doing silent activities so I wouldn't wake my baby brother. Oh, at least you're considerate. Acquiring quiet talents such as listening in to the surroundings of my home. When I heard the crashing of the shutter of glass raining from the kitchen, rustling through the upper corridors, I ran to my brother's room instinctively. It just says brother room, but I'm gonna add the fix your grammar for you. To my brother's room, instinctively. The dresser held a tremendous amount of weight, but that just proved all the more useful as I pushed it against the door, barricading the intruder out. We were imprisoned on the inside with no way out, no phone to call the authorities. The windows from my brother's room would have served as a silver lining to climb out of the rut as I Wait, what? This is confusing. The window from my brother's room would have served as a silver lining to climb out of the rut as I dug us into if it weren't for the baby's luck, our parents installed prior to his birth. My nails chipped as I tried to lift the weighted bars, and at the scraping of the fingertips, my attempts came to no avail. I fidgeted as my brother tussled in his sleep. He could hear my anxiety building, overlying the rough friction of the footsteps against our wood, tilting by... I can't pronounce half these words, why? Tilting yeah, I don't read much. Reverberate. Okay, I'm just gonna say it like that. If you guys know how to pronounce that correctly, don't tell me. I don't care. I would be surprised if he couldn't find us, since at this point I was certain he was just as aware of our presence as I was of his. However, I still could risk my brother's whining, aggravating the situation. My knees thudded to the floor as I coaxed his back to silence. It's okay, I'm here, everything's fine. No, it's not. Tears choked up my throat, swelling with every recitation. I don't think tears can choke you, but air can, and water, not tears, because they come from your eyes, not your throat. Everything's fine. Everything's going to be fine. Just go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Oh, that's settling. Silence came gravely over the room when the footsteps halted outside my brother's room, and even the wind seemed to choke up, leaving my voice the lone evidence of human presence. Then my coo echoed behind the door as steady of Jesus. Just as steady but greater and younger than I expected. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. What? Okay. Fanfictions make me so mad. I don't know why I read them, but I do. A chuckle stirred in the depth of his throat, harmonizing with the cracking, with the cradling. Okay. My voice had long since stopped, but his kept running with in an agonizing manner, sweet and intimidating. While it sounded like he was going to loop that phrase for the entire night, he stopped, and a thrashing kick took its place. The dresser, as terrible as it was, shuddered and falling over in its face. A knife pierced through the shabby door like butter. I was sure it was sturdier than that, but he seemed to tan it down. I'm gonna fix that for you. Tear it down, effortlessly. In its remains stood a young man with a young man. Are you sure about that? A young man with a sweater that illuminated the harsh atmosphere of. How young are we talking about? Well, he's a teenager. He's like around 17 or 18. Okay. A young man with a sweater that illuminated the harsh atmosphere he carried with him. His face was harsh, but hardly visible under the inky hair that poured over his face. His eyes, however, emitted with a paralyzing dread that focused on me, bloodshot and eager. Oh. There was a beauty to him. No, there's not. Just one that I was so anxious to search for in direness of situation. Please. Please. I'm just saying it in that voice because that's how stupid this girl is. Oh, wait, that's me. Oh. I feel like I read this before. I probably did, because I read a lot of fan fiction. I would rush up and rip the knife out of his palms if I could, protecting the family I love and protecting myself, but wow, that was really fast. But I couldn't even stand to back up. I still went up there, aside my brother sat on the cradle. He walked towards him, and I wanted to scream, but the only plead was able to leak out seemed dead. The only plead was able to leak out into seemingly dead ears. What? What? He reached in cautiously, assuring that my brother wouldn't injure himself as he lifted him into his arms. Please. What? Oh, wait, that's Jeff. Oh. Please, what? The intruder's voice was, I don't know the word. Tranquil. The intruder's voice was aberistic. What? Tranquil as it fell into my anxious being, still kneeling beside him. He looked again to me with the same gaze, but despite his burnt eyes, they looked softer. Please don't hurt. My eyes locked on my brother in his arms and drew him. Again, his chuckle. Okay, yeah. His chuckle arose. His chuckle arose also silky at my statement. What? I'm not going to hurt him. He's so young. He has yet to experience the cruelties of this world. Just as I have, and just as you will too. Who are you? Shock aroused on his face came into my outburst. It could have been due to quite rude interruption or the fact that I was in no position of being asked. Wait, hold on. Shock aroused on his face at my outburst. It could have been due to the quite rude interruption or the fact that I was in no position to be asking any questions, given that he still had a knife in his hand. Rather bold, aren't you? That was quite rude. I jolted, not certain how I should answer. What? You asked me my name without introducing yourself. Now that's rude if you don't think. That's a bad word in there. I'm not going to say that. Well, that's rude if you don't think. My mind stared at the cluster in confusion due to his casualty of the situation. Surely in his position, he would have been robbing or murdering us with a devious pace, but not striking up a coffee talk. He knocked. I did read this before. Okay, I remember this. He nodded to himself with acceptances while he led my brother back to safety. You know, I've met many. None quite as enticing as you look. My face flushed. The bile in my stomach turned as I what? I'm gonna change this. My face flushed. The bite in my what? Okay. The bile in my stomach churned as I executed with a whisper of confusion. Okay, let's forget that happened. Let's forget I ever read that. Let's forget those in there. Thank you? This shouldn't be happening. Are you supposed to be holding us hostage or killing us? He took a step closer to me. Despite his appearance, he radiated warmth, a swell of pressure that came upon my neck as he emitted a warm breathe on me. Oh my God. Fix your grammar! Breath on me. Actually, the later. What? Actually, the latter. I don't know what that means. He stabbed my ribs until the cage broke before he left, leaving the police to find a massacre and gore next to a screaming infant. The end. Okay, yep, that describes fanfiction. What, you thought... Alright, this is something from the author. What, you thought that they were going to live? That Jeff and them were going to go share a wondrous crime spree life while running off together? What did you honestly expect? The fact that Jeff wasn't even talking to them in the merry manner, that was even too much of a stretch. He's Jeff the Killer. He kills. They die. Hence the name. The end. Bye! Wow, I need a life.